What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Troy Rawlings here. Welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the. And today we get a chance to catch up with amazing dynamic duo, singers, producers, promoters, entrepreneurs. Are y'all Philly natives?
Aja's from Washington, D.C. I'm from Philadelphia.
Well, without further ado, DC and Philly together, Kindred the Family Soul. Make some noise for Kindred the Family Soul, wherever you is. And look,
I hear you out there, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you. I know you're making a lot of noise. I know you're making a lot of noise. I already know.
All right, I like giving people their roses when they're live. I initially met you guys, I don't know what year it was. I think the first album was out. I want to say you were doing an event in Baltimore. You might have been doing a promotional tour, or you were at City View, Security Boulevard, the restaurant, the radio station restaurant scenario. I think I met y'all there initially, and y'all were doing some stuff in Fells Point, like Latin Palace and stuff like that. And I met you guys, and I end up, whether you know it or not, I end up doing something with your band. The band members were from Baltimore, hosting Mainstream, the trumpet and the brothers that play trumpet and trombone. Yeah. I started hosting their music night in Baltimore, and it actually helped me get my comedy night. I was hosting the music night. The owners of the venue were like, "Man, you're really funny. You should have your own comedy night." And I was like, "Yeah, eventually." He said, "What night you want?" And I was like, "Oh, well, shit."
Hey.
And that was because of Kindred. I was a Kindred
fan. Come to find out, Kindred got something to do with your success, Troy. How about that?
That's why I always go back to the family soul.
That's what's up. No, that's dope.
We paid it forward somewhere in our life. That's a beautiful thing, brother. Yes. We appreciate that. And so many people have done those same things for us. I mean, that's a natural progression, and hopefully that's just something that happens, just from, being good people and trying to do the right things.
And you too. I do a Quentin Tarantino, so I'm gonna be all over the place. How did you two meet? Like you say, Aja is from DC, Tina's from Philly. How'd you two meet?
We met each other in New York City. I was living in Los Angeles for a very short period of time and was working on a solo album. And so I came back to the East Coast specifically to work with the Roots production crew. And they were at that time based in New York. And Fatin was producing and songwriting with them. And so he was the first one of the first people, really, like maybe second person that I met when I went up to New York to work on that material. And
what year? What year was this?
This was 1997. Yes, that would be 1997. And he and I, 1997. And basically we kind of clicked right away, and we started writing some stuff, and, everything kind of moved on from there. I mean, that's how we met each other. But yeah, I mean, we got married less than a year after we actually met each other.
It was all a part of the master plan. You don't see what he's saying. He's wording in the background. He's like he had it all.
The meme where they brothers be like this.
Usually the women say, "I knew when I saw him," or "I wasn't paying attention." He's like, "No, I saw her and I was like, you know what? Hey, I need a songwriter." Oh yeah,
Dude, I ain't have no idea either, man.
He didn't know. I mean, it just kind of progressed quickly. I don't think either of us really understood what was happening at the time, but our friendship progressed super fast, and then the relationship progressed really fast, and we just went with our gut. And I think that was the thing. We just kind of trusted our own instincts, and so that's how I feel like that's the story.
Yeah.
The family. How did the families? Did the families meet? How old were y'all at the time? Well, not to date the age.
We were really young.
When we met, I was 23 or 24, and Aja was
19.
Yep, 23 and 19.
So the family's like, "You met who?" He was like, he'll be coming over. He'll be coming over after we get married. What's happening now? You know, was it?
I mean, that's very accurate. Our families were really surprised. And I mean, some of them were like, okay, like we'll go with you guys on this, but we don't know.
Your little puppy love thing you guys are doing.
That's
oh, that's
cute.
so cute.
But
hey,
I think
I heard somebody say one time, I heard somebody say recently, and it changed my mentality. It was like, oh, this is puppy love. And this guy said, hey, puppy love is real to the puppy.
Puppy love is real to the puppies, and you're absolutely right. I think that once people realized that we were not playing around with each other, then they stopped playing around with us.
Good way to look at it.
Right.
We had some convincing to do to them and to ourselves, though, I guess.
Right. I mean, well, we didn't really know. We didn't know what we were doing, so just doing the best that we could. And I feel like
we still don't know what we're doing.
And
we just have some experience behind us.
I feel like we just really wanted everything to work out. So our hearts were just in a place where it's like, hey, let's really just do our best. And I won't lie to you, I think we're still those people. Like, I still think we're just kind of like, hey, we really want to be here together, so let's do our best. And I mean, I know that doesn't sound like all poetic or anything, but
why does it need to sound poetic? It sounds like real life.
It is.
And
real
you got to.
Isn't always poetic. Go ahead.
My thing is helping men and women communicate better in love, and I love love stories, and I love the whole thing of it. And isn't that what supposedly all our grandparents and people that stayed together? Didn't he say, I saw her, I knew, we just went with it? When they say
I mean,
ups and downs and everything.
Yeah, I think what older people have on us, on I guess the generations after them, what they have is a sense that these things can be permanent, that they can be for life. They got hurt a lot because of that, and they stayed in situations that hurt them. But the thing that we have that we added to that as a generation is, okay, yeah, this could be permanent. So if we do it right, it could work out. But let's let it work out because we out of this mutual respect and love and nurturing and kind of taking things a step further. So I think that even the generation after us is going to have it even better because they're going to have a sense of all of those little things. And, we'll strengthen as we go.
Right. And I was mentioning to y'all about y'all wall of passion and love. And I mean, it's a couple things back there.
Yeah, I heard you kept making your little jokes about Ike and Tina up there. That's all right. Ike and Tina is a reputable duet group as well. And they made some great music.
Yeah, this is my husband's fine work.
That's right. That's my work.
Yes.
I put this together just for you too, brother. Yeah, I needed a backdrop.
That's fly. That's fly.
Like
Seconds.
I come to your place and do it too. Social distance. It only costs you $700 for me to set it up.
Right.
I appreciate that. Now y'all got to take a picture. Now y'all next album cover got to be near the album covers. But somebody else.
No, you can't use those album covers on your own album cover.
It's a couple Kindred album covers up there.
There you go. Well, those are actually singles of Kindred's because we don't have any. Well, we do have one full-length album, Legacy of Love, our 6th album. I just didn't put it up yet, but we may. So this backdrop may change a little bit. I might swap out the Ike and Tina just for you.
I didn't. Hey, they put out hits.
They definitely put out hits, goddamn.
That part.
And so did Ike.
He put out hits. Ike puts out hits. He's like, let everybody.
No. See, we're not gonna make jokes about domestic.
I'm sorry.
That's terrible. I have to apologize.
All right, we're past. Let's go past. I'll edit. No, I won't.
No, you won't. You're a funny guy. Your funny guys don't ever
edit. But here's the thing, though, and I want people to know this: y'all a bona fide couple. Because as years went on, we started finding out about Ike and Tina and about some of the issues and the start. I just recently watched a piece on Yarborough and Peoples.
Oh yeah, I got them up there too.
Yeah, Yarborough.
They're unsung or something like that.
Yeah, but it would because you hear the same kind of stories, and we're gonna touch a little bit on that of just the business and how it is to stay together, because it's almost impossible. We always refer to Ashford and Simpson, but then we know they had a special kind of love. But what is it when you guys started in music? Because I could imagine how many people believed that y'all would be able to stay together as a group and as a couple.
I don't know. I mean, that's hard to say. How many people? I'm sure that there was a lot of people who were skeptical. Very few people probably, just like we didn't necessarily foresee that here we are about to come up on 22 years of marriage. That wasn't what we were looking at then. Like, well, how long will we be together? We're going to be together till the end of time. It was just like, this feels right. We're comfortable, we're content with one another, and we're going to put our best foot forward to make it last and have longevity. And we've been working towards that ever since that first day. For those who didn't believe and didn't continue to support us and love us, they fell by the wayside. Those who loved us and wanted to believe and have faith in that it was possible, they still around and they still supporting us and they still loving us. You know what I mean? And that's all that really matters. Those were the only people that mattered in the end anyway.
So the culture of how long has Black Lily been around?
Was around. Black Lily isn't around right now.
Right.
Well, it was around for, I want to say, how long did it run? Maybe about 4 years?
Ran from like 98 to 2002. Yeah,
about 4 years strong. Maybe a little longer than that.
3.5, 4 years.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at this point, people talk about it, in
it's a myth. It's like an ancient,
I mean, people talk about it as but it was an important time for all of us because it was such an incubator for so much of the music that came out at that time. And so many of the artists that were a part of the actual Lily and the Lily extended community were putting out music consistently throughout that time period. So it did become a bit an epicenter for so much of the camaraderie and the social space and working out music and creating an audience for yourself.
Yeah, it's so much bigger.
It was a really great experience. When I think back on it, for us, it was extremely significant because that is really where
it helped to fuel a whole creative hub and creative community beyond just the music, kind of like the Harlem Renaissance, with jazz and art and photography and all those things back in the, 40s and 50s or whatever. Very similar, 50 years later, I suppose, that the neo soul sound that, rebirthed all of this soul and soul community kind of brought about.
So let's go back. I want to go back to the creation of the first album. Mm-hmm. Did you know at the time? Well, the great thing about, like you said, about having places like Black Lily, you get to go somewhere and work your craft. And
my hands is itching. That means I'm about to get some money.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I hope so.
I was like, you got the eczema. Leave that dairy alone. I got some good herbs. You got a chance to work your craft with an audience. Was Black Lily a weekly piece, or the different places you would go and hit? So you got to see and hone your response. I interviewed Jeffrey Osborne before, and he said when I was doing a Skip Scarborough Award for one of the concerts I was doing back in Baltimore, and I interviewed Jeffrey, and he said something key. He said, "Well, you got to realize we were just trying to get the next gig, so we weren't even thinking about an album." He said, "You guys now," at the time, he was like, "You guys, kids can record a CD in their bedroom and have it out. Now they can, I got this song. I got it now. It's on Spotify, and they think 1 million people viewing it. They're like, yes. And I know artists, real artists that are putting tons of music on Spotify. And I'm like, well, how do you get money off of it? How does that work? He said, oh, well, you get 25 cents per. I was like, so the mentality of having a live show.
Right. Well, we came along and got a little bit of both worlds, right? Mm. So because Jeffrey Osborne is with all due respect, much older than us. That
don't do that to Jeffrey. Not much.
I mean, he looks fantastic, and he sounds exactly the same.
He might have us by a dub.
I mean, his body, look, he working out, he look good.
Well, he was the youngest, he was the youngest member of LTD, so that's why he's still
right. So he got to benefit from that.
So he's only 65 now.
He can woo. He can.
I'm just saying. I'm 41, so we just keep it there. But what I'm saying is, y'all gonna get me in trouble with Jeffrey Osborne. I ain't got time. Okay, stop. So what I'm saying is, we kind of got an opportunity to benefit from both worlds. So we were definitely cutting our teeth in the live arena, not just in Philly, but in DC and in New York, Baltimore, like you talked about. And we were able to kind of get around a bit, but really our home space was the Lily. And that was obviously like a great place because we were able to get polished there. But what ties us into like that newer way of doing things is that we did think about getting a record deal. Like that was the end game for all of us. We just didn't do it the way that at that time, the popular thing was to get a demo. We didn't have that. We just had people from record companies coming down to the club and they would, check us out. So in that way,
Big Red came down once. He really wanted to sign us, man.
Big Red wanted to come down.
He was a small country boy, but he worked hard for his artists.
Right.
So it's like, we had like a little bit of a mesh together with that part of it. And that's why so many of the artists end up with record deals and they putting out records back to back behind each other because, all the record labels were like, they knew.
Give me some of that.
They knew where the talent was. So they're like, okay, this is where we're going to go. So, for us, it's a little bit of both. And then, of course, we watched it go from albums to CDs to doing the digital stuff. So we have, we experienced all three of those major industry changes. And hot damn, we still here.
And got real voices. I'm not gonna make them sing. And got real voices to go with it. Here's the thing. Do you think now that hub was powerful? Now, was it because people like Jazzy Jeff and the producers were they in there, or they just will come back down there? Or what was it that made it so key, and how were the deals? Every time I talk to artists, I want to talk about deals, because when I watch Unsung with my daughter, and she be looking at me at the end. She's 8. She be looking at me like, "Dang, this is sad." I was like, "Yeah, it is sad, baby." Everybody end up the same way. It was like, and she be taking it until it wasn't. It was like they were good until they weren't. I was like, "Dang, what happened?"
I think when you ask about how were deals are always or have always been structured in the music business that when you're very young and you're new to the business, there's an initiation process, much like, the brotherhood of fraternities and all those different things. Those are your brothers who end up being your brothers, but they beat your ass to become your brothers. So the business beats your ass a little bit before you can get your footing into it the way that you want to, and nobody is immune to that. And one way or another, you're going to get that. So whether your deal is great, mediocre, okay, it doesn't really matter. It's going to pan out the same way, depending on your level of success. I mean, everybody's not going to be Drake and Beyonce or, some of the bigger names.
They didn't get
but even
paid.
them, it takes time to get
from that
get to that place.
First deal. You know what I mean? It's a career like any other career, right? If you come out of college and you go into the workforce, you're not going to be the highest paid person in wherever you're going. So when you get your first deal, it's like coming out and going into the workforce. You're going to get, you're going to get a deal that, like he said, it could be
representative of that you haven't sold many records.
Yeah, on the spectrum of bad, you could get the worst kind of bad, or you could get the best kind of bad, right? But none of it's going to be...
You want it without Vaseline, or do you want it with just dry? How do you want it?
I can only say a part of a line each song. You want it raw or raw?
But for us,
Troy raw and gut. How do you want it?
For us, I will have to say, and
Angel was, I'm gonna tell her too. I'm sorry. Angel like, that name is nasty.
I did.
I was like, he's funny though. Like, that's just what he does.
I said, does his mama call him Raw?
Troy Raw Uncut? Ooh.
No, my last name is Rawlings. It's just.
Oh, right.
Well, it's not Rawlings Uncut though. That's totally different, Rawlings. Raw Uncut gives the wrong impression.
It does.
It could also give another impression about that blue magic, but who knows? Who knows?
The grease? Okay,
blue
let's
magic.
go.
You know what the blue magic is. You cut it out.
Listen, I can't.
No.
Listen, whatever.
No. They call.
Anyway, about record deals, right? So yeah, we were talking
I'm funny too.
We talking about record deals. I do want to say this, that for us, I feel like what may have been, like, I don't want to say a loss in the beginning, ended up being probably a good thing for us in the long run.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, we didn't sign to what was considered a major label. Mm-hmm. And I think for some people, they may have looked at that as, well, oh, you didn't get a major deal. Well, in the long run, we actually ended up doing okay because
we got some major debt though after that major, semi-major.
We were able to slide out of that into other things a lot easier.
We were able to spend a lot of money
and able to make a lot of other moves and do those kinds of things. So in that way, there were ways that we benefited, and it kind of was a give. You
don't realize that when they get that big up front, you got to pay that up front back off of a low point system.
Look, TLC and them sold the same. Look, they sold like 60 million. We got their same story.
No, we don't.
We got some mirrors of the same story.
No,
look,
really don't,
it doesn't matter. I mean, no, we ain't flat out, and neither are they. The point is, a lot of the same stuff happens in every story in the music industry.
And
especially for those of us who don't reach the plateaus of the ones who have gone, Michael Jackson and Prince could have sat here and told you at one point or another that, shit wasn't good.
And you made a good point, because both Michael Jackson and Prince had slave written on the side of his face, and Michael was like, Tommy Mottola's the devil. He's here. Don't film this.
And you sold the most records in the world. Like,
I mean, well, if you really want to get down to the dirty of it, it is. The music business is one of the most capitalistic, industries.
Every industry.
This is capitalism. Okay, it's not.
This is what? This is your 6th album now?
This will be
our 7th album that we're working on, or our 8th, but 7th.
Well, how
7
did you
recorded?
7th studio.
Now, are you still under a deal, or are you independent now?
No, it's totally.
Totally independent now. This will be the 2nd independent album that we're doing. Totally.
If we sing something on your show right now, we'll upload it to Spotify in a few minutes, just like the rest of those kids.
10,000 sales right there. Look at that. We don't even know who these people are. 10 cents per. No. But so what is it? Because you guys are. I don't want to say you're an anomaly now, because a lot of people, you may know couples that are knocking out the box, that are doing. I don't know any. I can't think of any couples who are together now who are doing music and who have consistently been able to put out good music and still seemingly to be in love. It's like,
we know a few. I mean, they're not all been together for as long as we have per se, but people are working together and making it work in this industry and outside of this industry. And love is flourishing and thriving in many, many households, whether the spotlight is there or isn't there. A lot of work gets done in the shadows. You know what I mean? And so for that, we still find inspiration from individuals like that. And hopefully, if we're inspiring or influencing other people with what we're doing, just living our regular, lives, and that's a beautiful thing too. And we're just very grateful and feel very blessed to continue to be able to do what we do from the place that we're in. We all wish that things were different than the way they are, but it's a challenge, and people who came before us and whose shoulders we stand on took great challenges and made it work, and we can make it work. We got breath in our lungs, and we're healthy, and we're very creative and talented people, and we love each other, and we're gonna make it work.
And your son is dropping fire. Is he the only one recording out of the family now, or everybody doing a little something? Because your son, I've listened to your son's projects. Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like, no, we're super proud of him because, you know, we didn't know that he was even going to really do music. He got out of high school and went to college, and it's like he's going to be a teacher. And he did do some music in high school, but he didn't seem like he wanted to do it professionally, but he was interested. So we just kind of were like, okay, because with the kids, it's like whatever they want to do. Whatever they're passionate about,
I was too concerned with. I didn't want to be Joe Jackson. I didn't want to be trying to force the kids into do music. You know what I mean? To be honest, like I thought that's what they could do. I thought that they would have that talent, but I was just like very adamant about like I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. Let them find their own way. Yeah, if they want our support, and we can help to facilitate any opportunities or whatever the case may be. Of course, we'll be there to do that part of it and advice and whatever we know, but we're not going to push you to practice every day and do this, and you know you going to be the next. That
I mean, it's like he said, it's just you love up on them, and if they find their way to it, then great. If they don't, and they go someplace else, then we going to cheer for them finding the cure of cancer, or cheer for them coding a video game, or whatever it is they going to do, we going to be happy. But this one, we are particularly proud because, hey, listen, we know this thing that he's doing, and we're grateful that he is inspired, and we think he's pretty freaking awesome. And, you know.
I'll tell you the other last thing is, you know, to be honest, the way that the industry was, much like we prefaced this part we're talking about with the conversation of where the industry is, it was like I wasn't really super excited about him wanting to do music because I know that, you know, you put so much into something and then the results don't necessarily be what you expect or what you assume, you know what I mean, because of the way that the game is right now, because so many people are making really, really, really great music, and it's still kind of, there's a ceiling to it, you know what I mean? It really can only go but so far. There's a lot of creative things that you can do with music, and you know, a lot of easy accessibility. It's easier for people to put the music out real quick, but because there's so many people vying for attention and so easy to do, it's a lot harder to be noticed and really, really stand out and make an impact the way that you would like to with what you're doing. And you have to change your expectations in a sense than the way that you've seen music be released in the past. You know what I mean? And I think that that's important. And for a person who's just coming into the industry and have never had the opportunities, some of the opportunities that we have had, even on the tail end of where the industry started to crash and change, you know what I mean? It's just different. You know, and for some people who might put something out on the net and they get a lot of eyes and, you know, or they got a nice bubble going or a nice buzz going or something like that, that's cool. Or you go viral or something like that, but it's still short-lived. It's hard to really get everything to connect right now with, you know, music.
I mean, I think just like it was when we were younger, it's just different. You still have to put the same time in. It's just going to be different. It may be in a different venue. Put the same time in. Yeah, it's like it may be in a different venue, but you just got to put the same work in. You have to stay consistent. You have to be concerned about building an audience. You have to be concerned about perfecting your craft. All of that stuff is the same goals. It's just got different arenas that you're trying to fulfill them in. And it's like, you know, but for us, you know, like I said, I feel like we have a good perspective on this because we've just seen this industry change so many times and had to adjust to each change. And here we're now going through a fourth change of the industry, where now we're going to see what's happening post-COVID. So that
virtual land,
you know, that part of it, we're involved in another transition. So we'll see. You know what I mean? God is good. So, you know, what can we do but understand it and thrive?
Hey, before y'all get out of here, I want to tell us a little bit about the new album, the latest album.
Ooh, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We can't tell you too much about the album because the album isn't finished. You know what I mean? But we are presently working on the album along with a lot of other projects in conjunction with that to, you know, bring into the world and bring to fruition. We're really hoping for it to be a monumental project. You know, we think it's very special. 7 is like, you know, a really special number.
Completion.
So, you know, a completion. So hopefully this will be the one. like every one of them, we wanted to be the one, but this will be the one. You know what I mean? And we feel good about it. Probably have a few guests on it. You know, hopefully before 2021 it'll be out. We may put out a single very, very soon. Very soon. But I can't tell you exactly when.
Fall in love
I will tell you that our 22nd year anniversary is next week. And very, very soon we might be putting out a single. And so look for that and all the other things that we're doing.
Hey, we got a lot to pay for a virtual concert. You're doing another virtual concert?
We got a virtual concert coming this Saturday, actually, for Fort DuPont Park. I mean, since it's virtual, everybody can watch it. I forget the actual tags. I'll give you all the information, but I'll probably already put it up on Instagram, but Fort DuPont Park, something for down in the DMV area, but I'm looking at the wrong stuff. In the DMV area, but, you know, it's everywhere. Shut up, Troy. Shut up. Shout out to my man, Big Daddy Kane. I know he might not be watching, but the last time we was together. Today is his birthday. Him and Roy Ayers. So, yeah, I sent him a birthday shout out. But shout out.
I'll tag him in this and give him some love. That was amazing at the Taste of Inglewood. We missed.
Oh, yeah, we had a good time. Stevie came out. That was dope, man. I appreciate you for bringing us out there. And I know I had you.
That was a really lit behind concert, man. That thing was popping. People.
That was
one of our last concerts.
Let me tell y'all something you don't know. They were expanding, and it was, I forgot what annual it was, but there were 25,000 people there when y'all were performing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, we bring out a lot of people every time we get on stage. We can't really help it. I mean, it's just something that does. When they tell the people that we're going to be there, they usually, 25,000 or so shows up. I mean, what are we going to do?
It was really, really good. A little known fact, a little tidbit about me is that I was raised in Washington, D.C., but my parents lived in Inglewood when I was born.
Inglewood.
So I was so excited. I was like, oh, snap, this is, little.
She's back on the block.
Slight.
She's home.
Slight hometown.
I'm back home, y'all.
I didn't.
He's talking loud and over me. Stop.
See what happens? See what happens when they home?
Girl, Inglewood.
This how they get when they're a week out from the anniversary. Start getting on your whole nerves.
Oh, I've been on your nerves all year. What is you talking about?
Happy spouse, happy house.
Hey.
Happy spouse, happy house.
Hey, brother.
No, that's true though. That is absolutely true, and that means both spouses.
Yeah.
I don't like happy wife, happy life. Happy spouse, happy house. I like that.
Happy man, happy plan.
Come on.
I just came up with that right off the top of my head, man. Can you believe it?
And she ain't know it.
Genius.
I didn't even know that. See how that happens?
Genius in your midst.
How many children, even though they're running from y'all, how many children is the Jackson Jackson
6 children.
What's the youngest? How old is the youngest?
He's 10. And the oldest is 21.
And that's your son?
10-year-old, we have a set of 12-year-old twins, and we have a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old, and my oldest is 21. Y'all will recognize my 21-year-old from the back of the first CD, where he is like maybe 3.
There he is up there.
He probably like 2 or 3.
Now he's got his album out, and you're going to plug his album too. I Killed Daoud, Born to Be Loved. It's an incredible album, 7 songs that you should have in your collection.
Yes.
Whoever's watching, who's ever listening, pick up my
son. Start my baby's music.
What's his? No, I'll tag him on. What's his IG joint?
At I Killed Daoud, AQUILDAWUD.
As soon as you put AQUIL, he'll pop up because I've seen.
I know you're a smart guy like that. Tech savvy.
Yo, I know y'all got a boogie. We got to do it again because I wanna. Well, I'm gonna find some kind of way to put my
ask your hard questions.
No, well, I was gonna get in deep undercover.
I know you're a Wendy Williams kind of guy. That's what I was.
No.
I was
okay, we'll let you get.
Want to know some crazy shit?
We'll let you get one deep tea in. What's the one deep tea you want?
We ain't got no deep tea. We don't have any deep tea.
We don't even have no deep tea.
All right, how's the love life after 23 years, 22 years? Was that snaps? Oh, she's happy. So that's good. That's good.
That WAP don't stop. That WAP don't stop.
Oh, the original. The original WAP, huh? That's all right. Let me write
Original WAP, baby.
the original WAP. That
No need
could
for
be
the
a new
remix.
track.
No need for the remix.
All on original, baby. KFC, spicy, and original.
Offset. And this is the original Offset and Cardi B right here.
You already know, baby. I like it like that. I'm fast, too. You need to take me to the comedy club. You need to take me to the comedy club.
Would you?
Huh? Not
That's
fast
what
in the WAP. I'm
make it fast.
a medium pace. A medium pace in the WAP.
Give it.
Longevity, brother, longevity.
All right. Give everybody your
Tantric love. Tantric love. What we doing out here?
Give everybody your information so they know how to get in touch with you.
Yo, shout out to KINDREDTheFamilySoul.com. You should go there, know us from there, KINDREDTheFamilySoul.com, because everything is going to live there really, really soon. But, you know, of course, we're on everything like everybody else. I'm at Kindred the Fam, most places. She's at Kindred the Wife, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that other stuff.
All right, you gonna sing us out of here?
No, I wasn't going to sing us out of here.
No, we wasn't going to do that.
I thought you said you weren't going to ask us to sing. And you didn't pay us any money. Do I ask you to do any jokes? Are you going to do us a little comedy on the way out?
I'll do a little something. There was this black man, white man, Chinese man.
Uh-huh.
Everybody
I
got beat
haven't
up.
heard one of these in a very long time. I don't even think you can say black man, white man, Chinese man anymore. Chinese man is not proper.
Yeah, see, that's how that always goes. It always gets messed up.
Oriental man.
That's furniture. You can't say.
Can't say that either, can you? No.
Can't say.
Asian man is what I meant to say.
That was bad.
Asian gentleman. Now we're getting into the editing world.
A whole nother way. So,
Editing. Troy's recording the call, but Troy just edited the call, I think it says. Goodbye, Troy. We've
love
had a
y'all.
good time with you.
Love y'all. Thanks for taking time out, y'all.
We love you too. We appreciate you, brother. I'll be in your pocket very soon.
I know you will.
I know you know.